In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Being intelligent is really important, but being emotionally intelligent, it is far more important. And if at all somebody is not emotionally intelligent, I think the kind of intelligence and the other resources somebody is having, these will be not of very good use. Because I've seen, you might have seen, everybody have seen, the people who are intelligent but they go into the wrong direction. Today we are going to talk about the emotional intelligence, and emotional intelligence is really important. For that purpose, like always, we have chosen a very useful, a very beneficial article on the subject, so as to make our talk very useful and authentic. And this article has been authored by Lachlan Brown, who is a well known researcher and author. And the beautiful article he has written on the subject has been captioned as 11 habits, 11 daily habits that can boost your emotional intelligence. 11 daily habits that can boost your emotional intelligence is the caption of the article. We are going to read 11 daily habits. Let's look upon what are those 11 daily habits. Naming your feelings and expanding your emotional vocabulary. Naming your feelings and expanding your emotional vocabulary. It is naming the feeling. It is like, every time we get sick, we go to the doctor and the doctor tries to examine us and try to diagnose the right sort of the problem and the trouble. Every time something goes out of the order, we take it to the mechanic, to the repairer, and the repairer, what do they do? First of all, they try to know that what is wrong with it, and then only they try to repair it. So for that reason, the feeling might not be necessarily bad, it could be even a good one, but we need to name it, and we need to rightly name it. We need to expand our emotional intelligence vocabulary, so that we are able to put the right sort of label on any type of feeling which are relating to the emotional intelligence emotions. The second daily habit, experimenting with a different coping mechanism. Experimenting with a different coping mechanism. What is this, by the way? Means some of the people you might have heard saying that I do this thing every time I feel a kind of headache, a kind of mental stress, a kind of disagreement and the resulting trouble with anyone else, and I do this, I do that. And then I feel like my trouble is gone, like the problem has been solved. So that is a kind of coping mechanism. So we need to experiment the different coping mechanism, so that we could find the best one. The third is visualizing different perspectives. Visualizing different perspectives, someone else's perspective, that is important, because as far this thing, visualizing the perspective of the other people is concerned, dear friends, it is really important. Why? Because we might get a better option. It is like somebody says that I like this dish, and which will be new to us. We try it and we find it very tasty, very delicious, very enjoyable, and from then onward, that particular dish becomes our favorite dish as well. So in the same manner, the learned author says here, visualizing different perspective. Now the fourth daily habit, he says, saying positive affirmation. Positive affirmations. These affirmations used to be called self instructions earlier, but these are called the affirmations now. What is this, by the way? It is like, choosing the choosing the, a positive word, which if at all repeated again and again, so it makes us more good psychologically and emotionally. We might feel better, we do become more productive, and we could get rid of the bad habit, we could adopt a good nice habit. So all of that is called affirmations. We need to choose the right sort of sentences and word, and we need to repeat it again and again so that it does enter our subconscious mind ultimately and becomes a firm habit of ours. The fifth is reading books from different genres. You know, that is really good. But unfortunately, here in our society, and now maybe in the many societies, because of the arrival of the smartphones and the computers, people are seen spending most of their time on their smartphone. And as for the reading habit is concerned, it has gone drastically down. So still, we need to read the books, the right sort of books, the different type of books, and the different subject, but it is optional, I think so. The sixth is seeking constructive feedback. Feedback is also useful provided it is a constructive, it is a positive one. And if it is not, if it is a toxic one, I think then it is not good at all. But we need to seek the positive feedback. The seventh is regular self reflection. This self reflection is important. We need to think that what did I do wrong so that I shouldn't be repeating it? What did I do right so that I could be doing it again and again? So that is actually the regular self reflection. The eighth is expressing gratitude. Expressing gratitude is really important. We need to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We need to be grateful to our parents and to all the other people who have contributed, no matter how small the contribution was, who have contributed one thing or the other for the betterment of our life, who have taught something else to us, who have taught something valuable to us, or at least the people, even the people who did not harm us, did not try to harm us. We need to develop the attitude of gratitude. Here, the learned author says expressing gratitude. The ninth is regular digital detox. Mean apart from the sleep, we need to take a break from the digital gadgets like the smartphone, the computer, for some of the time, for several hours in a day. I've seen certain learned people, they keep their mobile phones switched off for several days. I'm not suggesting that you and I should do this, but at least we can do that for a few hours in a single day, every day. And the 10th is observing your emotional triggers. What is this one? Observing the emotional trigger. Mean somebody says that if at all these things happen with me or in front of me, then I feel such a bad thing, etc., etc. So those are the triggers. We need to know the triggers. We need to find out the trigger and what are the triggers, so that either we could avoid first of all those sort of triggers which actually create a kind of trouble, a kind of bad situation. We need to avoid all sort of those triggers, or we could find the way to deal with it. It is far better that if at all we avoid those triggers. And now the 11th and the last is asking for help. Although we want to become independent, that is fine. But I think that at certain point it becomes mandatory and not optional to seek the help from the other people. In that case, we shouldn't be hesitating at all to seek the help from the other people, and we should be rather ready, because it is also a part of the emotional intelligence that if at all we are seeking a help at a time when it is needed, at a time when it is needed, I think that we shouldn't be feeling shy at all. If at all I do feel the need, the professional help or any type of help, I shouldn't be hesitant at all. I shouldn't be reluctant at all. Rather, I need to do it instantly. That was a very beautiful and a very useful article on the subject, and the caption of this article was 11 daily habits that can boost your emotional intelligence. 11 daily habits that can boost your emotional intelligence. This beautiful, very useful article has been authored by whom? By Lachlan Brown, who is a well known researcher and author. Thank you. Jazakallah.